What's going on, everybody? This is Mehul and welcome to your 31st AngularJS tutorial, in which we'll be continuing with our to-do list application which we have developed in the past two tutorials. So in this tutorial we'll be continuing and we'll be making our application more functional and working. So in the last two tutorials what we did is we just created this simple application. When we enter the text and hit enter, then it just pushes that task into an array. So now we actually need to populate this stuff into this array. So let's just take a look how we can do that. So first of all, let me just get over through the code again. So this is our array scope.task. So this is the search enter function which I have bounded with this input. So whenever there's a key up, then this function would be called, and if the key is enter, which has the code of 13 and the task is not blank obviously, then we are calling this function, and this function is just simply appending the tasks to the array right now. So now let's take a look how we can enhance this code. So first of all, let's just make sure that the tasks are visible on the screen. So for that, what we can do is I'll just create a separate div here, and inside this let's just make use of the UL, which would create just a simple unordered list, and let's just say the LIs inside this UL will repeat. And what would they repeat? They would repeat a task inside this array. Okay, I guess we had already something as task. So okay, so I'll just write here one task in, and the array is tasks. So one task would contain is kind of a temporary variable for every element in the array tasks, which is bounded with scope. So this should repeat, and that's pretty much it for now. We just want to display the one task right here. So let's just take a look in the browser. Let's just see if that works. So you see that kind of pushes the things into the unordered list and makes that is kind of working. Okay, so now we have a bunch of stuff more to do, and that is to let the user allowed to just mark a task as complete or to remove a task. So for that we need somehow to maintain we need to retrieve some information, that we need to bind every task somehow to some key or something, so that we can operate that later on. So for that, either we can assign each task an ID, or what we can do is we can actually append a property, another property as well with this task. So let's just say this is the task which is being appended right here, and I would like to append the status as well of this task, and the status would carry information like it is incomplete. And for now let's just console log scope.task, and I guess we need to change a bit of things here. So let's just say this task message, so it doesn't cause any conflicts. And alright, so here I need to do one task.task message. Yes, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's just check this out in the console. So we get an object which is expected, and this contains status of incomplete task message SDF. Then two objects we have in this array, incomplete SDF and this is incomplete SDF. Okay, so now we just need to trigger the incomplete property of this object, and if this is not if this is complete, then obviously we'd like to remove that from our page, from the users view area, and we'd probably like to remove that from the array as well. Alright, so now let's just write this thing in a span tag and just give it a class of one task dot status. Okay, so now what we are doing here is, first of all, I am just iterating the li to show all of the tasks in one go inside the array, the tasks here, and then I am one by one appending each of those right here with Angular, and I'm assigning a span class of one task dot status. And why I'm doing this, I'm gonna show you right now. So let's just refresh this. So let's add some text, and as you can see here inside the HTML, you see that it has got a class of incomplete. So now the only thing we have to do here is to create a span class of complete and just trigger it with like color gray and strike font style. Let's just say this is a bit of italic. Text decoration. This was like a line through, I guess. Let's just check out. Yeah, so that's okay. So I'll just copy these styles and I'm gonna just paste them right here. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I just have to now trigger this incomplete class to complete right here somehow. So for that, what I can do is I can just create a input type checkbox, and I am going to write ng model as, since we are working with one task and this one task is a temporary variable for every task, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write one task dot, and since we are binding this to status, so I'm gonna write status here. So ng model one task dot status would actually just store the true or false value. So I guess we need to make a little bit of change here. So instead of just giving it a status of incomplete, we can give it a status of false. So right here I can check if, yeah, so that should probably work. So if the class is, let's say, done and done false and done true, so that would work. So if it is done true, then show these styles, otherwise show this one. So I'm just gonna show you real quick how this is working. Task 1, task 2, task 3. Let's try this out. Okay, so when I check the checkbox, you see that these styles are applied. So I'm just gonna show you now what's actually happening. So here, right here, what I'm trying to do is, first of all, I created another property, status, and I set it to false. Now what happens is that whenever I create an input type checkbox and I write ng model one task.status, what happens is that the checkbox in its checked state returns true to ng model and its unchecked state returns false. So if it is checked, then one task, which is the current task, the temporary task variable dot status, which is this property right here, for any of every task, it changes automatically to true boolean value, and once it changes to that, it changes here as well. So I'm just going to show you that. So if you see right here, this one, so if I check this task, you see that it changes to done true instead of done false, and it changes again and again and again. So what we can do is, in the next tutorial, we can make sure that this checkbox is not you know, the user is not allowed to uncheck the done task already, and we could also show a little cross button here which will just pop out the element from the array. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope you liked it. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you then next time.